Yo, this video is pretty long, so here's a timestamp for everything if you want to just go to anything in particular. But yeah, that's basically it. So, into the video. Yo, I posted this question onto the community tab of the channel, asking which video you want first, and well, not all of you, but the majority of you said the Agony review first. So, I just recently finished the game again and started replaying it a second time, and I thought I would go ahead and do this. So yeah, let's just jump right into the review. To start this video out, I will go ahead and tell you what my relationship with Agony is, how I found out about it, and why I feel the way I do about it. Obviously, with anything you review, you're obviously going to have feelings towards it based off of when you saw it, how your experience was with it, and everything. But this is my original experience with it before I bought it just a couple weeks ago again and replayed it. It came out in 2018. My father bought it. I was 13 at the time. He played it, tried to get past it, got to the first maze, and said that he just didn't want to play it anymore. He just didn't like it. I took it, played it, and finished it in about a week, and then my father went and sold it because he didn't want to play it, and I finished it already. At that point, I hadn't known that there were more endings or anything like that, so I just played it, and that was it. Then I saw some reviews about it a couple of years later, just because I remembered it was a game, and remembered absolutely loving it. Then I saw that it was on sale on the PlayStation Store just a couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, I think. And then I bought it for $1.99 because it was on sale, and played it, and now I'm making this review. So yeah, that's basically how I know, like, everything that went into me knowing about this game. But yeah, I just wanted to give some context so that we all knew, I don't know, how I knew about the game and everything. I don't know, I just like telling about stuff. But yeah, this is basically the just the intro, telling you all about some background information about how I know about it and everything. But now we can jump into the actual story of the game. I am going to tell you all about the story of the game, and then I'll go into the gameplay and tell you what my actual thoughts on the gameplay and everything. But yeah, we can jump right into the story of the game, which is you play as a lost soul, which you later find out is named Nimrod, and the entire point of the game is you figuring out your memories and everything, because in the beginning you do not remember who you are or why you're there or anything like that. All through the game, people are like, you're the reason that we are here and everything. You meet a whole bunch of lost souls that blame you for everything that has happened, and throughout the game you figure out small tidbits about who you are and what you did, and just throughout the game you talk to others, and you eventually find out that, yes, your name is Nimrod, and in the, I don't know, the ancient times, you were king of Babylon. You made a deal with basically the devil, who is the red goddess within hell, and she promised to give you power and make you basically God on Earth. And as with all of these deals with the devil type of stories, you get screwed over, and now you're stuck in hell, and you have to find your way to the red goddess to figure out how to get out. And then, depending on what ending you got, both times I've played, have only gotten the first ending. I'm actually trying to get the other endings now, with my new playthroughs and everything. But within the first ending that I got, you possess a giant demon, you fly after her, and then you punch a hole through the walls of hell, allowing them to be released. She has a huge monologue and lets you go. You get out of on a beach in the real world, and you see that everything is normal, honestly. And then the giant demon rises out of the ocean and steps on you and sends you right back to hell. And then the credits roll. It's a really good ending. It's basically just revelations from the Bible. But yeah, that's basically the story. The Baphomet's in it. He's a huge part of the Succubus games, or game. But yeah, that's the general gist of the story. There isn't that much of a story. If you're looking for a game that's heavy with story, like actual story within the game, this probably isn't the one for you. But if you like games where you look around and find texts and stuff for more context, I'll get to the stuff that you can find around the game and everything later in the video, but for now I'll just end what the story is there. There is a whole lot of the text and stuff that you find that will give you more context and everything, but that's basically it for right now. Next we can go on and talk about my favorite thing in this game, which is the look of everything and the designs. Let's start with the designs of the areas within this game, because there are some creature designs that I absolutely adore. As most of you know, if you've watched this channel, I'm a huge horror fan, and obviously I am because I'm talking about this game, but the creature designs are absolutely amazing. But let's start with the area designs. There are a few areas that I absolutely adore in this game. There are only a few that are stand out to me. There's the swamp area, which is this right here on the screen, which they did amazing. The water looks really cool, and while you're playing, the islands shift like they're not connected to anything. It's just a really cool way to set it up and everything. A lot of places to actually look around and all of that. It's honestly just a really well-made area, but there are also other areas like the giant tree area, which is made up of mostly the giant tree, obviously, but also giant bones used as bridges and such. All of these places are designed really well, but there is one type of design that I absolutely love in this game. Like I said, the swamp is really cool looking. The tree is kind of muted and not as intricate with its design, I guess. It looks awesome, but it looks less horrific than the other ones, I guess. But the one I'm talking about next, the area I'm talking about next at least, is absolutely the most grotesque area in this game, which is the areas that are comprised mostly of flesh and blood. Yeah, this is absolutely horrifying to look at. There are some things in the game that are actually really cool, like I said, the areas are amazing, but there are things built into the areas like pitfall traps and these absolutely horrifying looking little mouths that will just chomp on you, or any demons you can make run in there. That actually helped me more than once, actually. But it's just really well designed. I love these areas with the fleshy looking walls and everything. It's just a really cool looking area. It reminds me a lot of Doom Eternal and what they did with it, and Doom 2016 to a lesser degree, I think. I can't really remember. I don't think any of the areas... Yeah, some of the areas had, like, made of flesh, but I think Doom Eternal went more with that type of aesthetic than Doom 2016 did, but that's besides the point. The areas are absolutely perfectly designed. Actually, one of the coolest things, I think, design-wise, within the areas at least, is actually something super simple, which is the checkpoints you find around the map. This is a weird little mirror with a torso with a head hanging out and a whole bunch of arms. The arms wrap around the head and torso and pull it in, and it turns into a weird looking mirror type painting with ripples in it, and then it vomits up a whole bunch of limbs. It's just a really cool design for a checkpoint. But yeah, the area designs are absolutely amazing. I think I've spent more than enough time talking about the areas, though. There are some areas that I would say are absolutely just breathtakingly well lit. I don't think I've talked about the lighting at all during this, but the lighting is absolutely amazing. Some really cinematic shots, which is weird considering the one thing that I have a problem with the designs is actually this. The character models made for the people that you possess are sometimes the most uncanny valley thing you will ever see. It looks genuinely horrifying, and not in a good way for a horror game. It just doesn't look good in some cases. I didn't really notice it that often, but I also wasn't really inspecting their faces or anything. Whenever I was taking off the bag, I would just take the sack off their head, and then so that I could possess them later, which I need to talk about in the gameplay section of this video. So I'll just move on. But this is, I don't just look at it, stare into your soul. But yeah, onto something that I actually absolutely love about this game, which is the creature designs. We are going to speedrun these character designs, or the creature designs at least, so that I can not have this video be too long. I might do a video for each of these creatures separately because I love how some of them look, but this is the Onosculus. I made a DBD fan chapter, Dead by Daylight fan chapter, based on the Onosculus. If you want to go watch that, it's on the channel. But look at it. It just looks absolutely amazing. And it's actually kind of scary the first time you see it in the game. Kind of loses its oomph after a little bit, though. But yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. On to the next monster. The Succubus looks really cool. All of them do. The Succubi just look really sick. It would really suck if they didn't, because they are the main monsters that the story revolves around. You don't really see them that often or mess with them at all, honestly, whenever it comes to actual gameplay, but they look sick, so I'll give them a pass on it. But there are still a few more monsters that I have to talk about, because there are some that look really cool and some that look kind of silly. This demon is called a Chort. It isn't, I don't know, it's really cool, but also isn't that intimidating at all. Really easy to get away from in the game. The Beast is a really cool design for any monster, honestly. It's a kaiju. There's actually a kaiju fight scene in the game. It's really good. But yeah, it looks really cool. It has a whole bunch of heads, got the wings and everything. I wish I could have played it at the end, but it was just a cutscene. But yeah, that's basically my only gripe with it, is I didn't get to play it. This is the only demon in this game that I think looks a little bit silly, and this is the only picture I could find of it, and this is on the Agony wiki. Yeah, that's it, just laying there dead. It's just a weird fleshy hand thing. It literally rolls around to walk, unless it's running like a spider. It looks cool when it's running, and that's it. It's not intimidating at all. It kind of just caresses your face whenever you get killed by it. It's just goofy. But yeah, that's basically all the demons I wanted to talk about. So we can actually just jump into the gameplay now. So let's jump over to the gameplay. Now, with the story and look of the game done, honestly, if you like those two things, you'll probably love this game, depending on if this gameplay sounds good. But this is the gameplay of the game. This game is a very hide-and-seek type of game, where you hide from demons and you solve puzzles. That's basically the main thing of this game. It has a few really cool added stuff with it, with the mechanics, some of the other mechanics, which I'll talk about right now. Like I said, it's a very hide-and-seek game. You walk around, solve puzzles. There are sigils on some of the doors. You will have to find the correct sigil. Sometimes there are statues that point the way out for where the sigil is. Sometimes they are more difficult than others. Usually they're pretty easy to find. I found them all fairly easily, just took me a couple minutes at the most. And then you draw those onto the door. You have to hold whatever the inspect button for your thing is. the console or PC that you're playing on is, and then it memorizes for you. You go up to where you have to draw it, and then you just draw it on there and hit enter, and then the door opens. These sigil doors are the main bit of puzzles that you'll have. There are also doors with hands outstretched on them. The arms will block the way for that doorway, and you will just have to find hearts or whatever else that it's looking for and place them into their hands. That one's also fairly easy. The hearts are normally just spread out around the door, extremely easily found. Those are the main puzzles in this game. But, I mean, honestly, now that we're done with the puzzles and all of that type of stuff, we can talk about some brand new mechanics just that this game brought out, which is one of them being the mechanic of possession. This is basically this game's way of keeping you from instantly dying. You will basically find a martyr, which are the people with the bags over their heads. The game does not tell you outright, but you will need to take the bag off of their heads before you can actually possess them, because I don't know, the bag over their head makes it to where you can't possess them, and it really sucks the first time you find out, because you'll be going, get killed by whatever, and then you'll have to basically go back and take the bag off of their head. There are a whole bunch of mechanics that it doesn't straight out tell you, but you learn along the way. But that's how the possession works. You go up to them, you possess them, and then you get basically a free checkpoint with them. The bag over their head is basically all you need to know with that. Later in the game, you can actually possess demons, which is really fun. They're really easy to just run through the really long part if you need to. There's a timer whenever you are in possession mode, so definitely watch that timer. Whenever you get out of a demon's body, the timer will be halfway drained, or however long it is. But that's basically how the possession mechanic works. It's just a way for you not to die if you end up getting killed, so that you don't have to go all the way back to the last checkpoint. Another very important mechanic in this game is holding your breath and the lung capacity and stamina. I'll just go ahead and talk about all of them. There are demons in this game that you have to hide from. Like I said, hiding is a very big part of this game, especially in the beginning. Crouch and hold your breath. The lung capacity will go down, so you will have to breathe eventually, but if the demon walks past you by then, it's fine. Stamina is, well, I mean, it's just like it is in every other game. It's just stamina, and while you're underwater, you will also have to hold your breath, which will be about the lung capacity. There are also small things that you can find within the game that aren't really about gameplay, but more about collectibles, basically, which are the statues, paintings, and comic book pages. The statues will give you art and stuff like that in your menu. The paintings have its own section where you just inspect the painting, and it goes straight to the paintings thing. All of them are beautifully done. There are a lot that are super cool. I might do a video talking about just the paintings and what I think about them. There is also a comic book. Like I said, there are comic book pages. I found a whole bunch of them in the succubus mode, which I will talk about at the end of this video, because I have not finished it, so I don't want to do a full-on review of that part of it. But the comic book is actually really good. I'm almost done with it. I'm almost done collecting it. I've already read it once. But yeah, these are just little collectibles that you can find. They're not needed for the missions or anything, but I just thought they would be something that might interest you, or even if it doesn't, it's just a little extra thing that you can do. Altogether, this game is around 10 hours long, much longer if you go for all of the endings. There is the regular base game, succubus mode, where you play the regular game as a succubus. I've already finished the first half of it, and it's going by a lot quicker than the regular game, so I'm thinking it's a little bit shorter, maybe. And there's also Agony mode, which I haven't messed with at all in either of my playthroughs. I will definitely talk about it later in a later video, do a mini thing just talking about all of it. But as of right this second, I would say that this game is really good. Succubus mode and all of it is really fun. Succubus mode is more action based. You can actually kill the demons and stuff, and there are some really good glory kills. Or I don't know what the game calls it. Glory kills is what Doom Eternal calls it, though. I would give this game a solid 8 out of 10. If you like the game mechanics that I was talking about, do know that some of the game mechanics don't really matter that much in the game. The possession one absolutely matters. There are game mechanics that I didn't even talk about because they never came up in my playthrough, honestly. There are hidey spots where you just duck behind, you hit a button and then you duck underneath it. The only time I used it, I got killed because I was already making too much noise. But that's basically the only game mechanic I didn't talk about. After I'm done with Succubus mode, I'll probably make a quick video talking about that, just talking about it really quick. But everything I've played, the main game is definitely worth getting if you can find it. I bought it for $1.99 because it was on sale on PlayStation, and I don't know. I absolutely love this game. I know it's not for everyone, but hopefully this review will tell you whether it's good for you or not. If you like walking through really cool environments with really gruesome creatures and hiding from them and sometimes hitting them with a torch and making them run away, then this is probably the game for you. And if you don't like hide and seek type of games where you just walk around and hide from monsters and get missions and puzzles done, then you won't like this at all. But I absolutely love it. It's, like I said, solid 8 out of 10 for me. But yeah, that's end of the review. If you want to tell me what you think about it, I would love to hear it. Tell me in the comments. Like, subscribe. Tell me if I got you to buy it or if you'll never buy it because of this review. But yeah, see ya.